Welcome to the Approximate Hours Special Edition podcast, The Defiance Alliance. This episode features interviews with songwriter and performer Brendan McCreary, as well as vocalists Olivia Pucci and Fife Monroe.
And speaking of Defiance, we are honored to feature not one, but two live performances of songs from the show.
And finally, our Intervision update highlights a fun and intense week after closing the San Diego leg of the Mickey and Worm tour.
But first, time for our weekly adventure segment, where we discuss the ongoing trials and tribulations of being a working artist.
The Approximate Hour.
And today's weekly adventure segment focuses on the challenges and phenomenal success of taking Mickey and Worm on tour to San Diego.
Now, I don't have to tell you that the show was just a rousing success. Like, that's the easy part.
Yeah, that really was.
We don't have to go into detail. It's just like, oh, the music was great, the acting was great, everything was great, the audience was great.
And the audience loved us and wants us back. Woo, woo,
yeah,
woo.
yeah, you know, so I don't think we really have to do that part. Here's the short version. It was awesome!
It was totally awesome.
That's all you need to know.
But that being said, we had some challenges.
Yeah, like, okay, one of our actors said, if you have a disastrous final dress rehearsal, then you'll have a great first performance, and that was borne out quite nicely.
Well, that's definitely, by the way, a regular superstition in theater, but it's certainly something that stage managers and directors tell actors in hopes that it will come true, because we really actually live in fear of the horrible rehearsal.
Abject mortal terror.
And we headed up on Friday morning.
Yeah.
After having a long rehearsal on Thursday, once again without costumes, in the backyard in the cold with hats.
Funny hats.
Funny hats.
Fun hats.
And we headed on the road somewhere before 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was roughly before the hairy butt crack of dawn that we left. and so we made it all the way there.
Hairy butt crack.
Extra hairy. And we made it all the way down there, and actually getting there was not a problem. We set up, and everything was fine. But the whole curtain setup was done with gaffer's tape.
Yeah, because I'm stupid.
Because our director is a fallible human being.
Thanks.
And also a gigantic dumbass.
Apparently.
We didn't exactly have a backstage. We just had these kind of cornices on the ceiling from which we hung curtains from gaffer's tape. And during this...
And the idea of having the small backstage was great, but the gaffer's tape was the stupid idea.
Not one of your best ideas.
No.
And so we're back there during our final dress rehearsal, and the whole thing just falls down more or less all at once. Like,
right.
The outer edges of it fall down, and then the middle of it falls down, and I have to change back there. And so it seems to be a running theme that at some point during every performance I have to blast the nips.
That's right.
And so I'm just back there like, okay, well, this is where my character changes clothes in his office, apparently, in full view of everyone. And so I'm just blasting the nips.
Blasting the nips.
And so I'm hanging out, just, changing my tie, changing my shirt, blasting my nipples. And I have very attractive nipples, but, that's not really the focus of the show.
No, and there were
anymore.
Tons of little things that were going wrong. Mostly we had figured out the lighting, but the sound was all over the place. The actors were exhausted and not quite grounded. And... so the show was running very slow, and all these weird things were going on. It just felt painful, and our show is normally so fantastic. So I started shaking in my boots, so to speak.
I've never seen the direction and production staff wanting to beat the tar out of other human beings as badly as I did at that moment. But then we had a wonderful first performance.
Right, and we solved all our issues. We immediately got the production team together and headed to Target to get hooks. You got to jerry rig everything, right?
One of my better ideas.
Mm-hmm. And so there we are rigging the idea of putting these curtains up with hooks. Thank goodness. And then we had a fantastic show with the backstage all well put together, no problems, right? But of course, doesn't end that way, does it?
Yeah. So everything went smashingly while we were performing, and then the show ends on Sunday afternoon after our matinee performance.
And there had been foreshadowing of rain for the entire day.
It had been beautiful weather the whole time in sunny San Diego.
We had beaten the weather gods, so to speak.
Yeah, we thought that Thor hadn't followed us, but then he kind of woke up from a drunken stupor, and suddenly it started raining.
Right. Quite a bit.
It started raining right when we were done with the show.
As we're packing up.
As we're packing out. And so we've got to get like 2 pickup trucks and a minivan loaded up with costumes and props and delicate items that their only protection from the elements is cardboard. And we're packing out, and it doesn't just start drizzling. It's pouring cats and dogs out there.
Right.
And we're loading out, and after, I think, like 2 or 3 hours of loading out piece by piece, finally it's like, okay, we're done loading out, let's go relax. It stops raining.
Right? I mean, seriously. And, poor Ryan is running out, producer Ryan, we love producer Ryan, who's also Mickey, the star of the show. He's running out trying to find a tarp to cover everything for the long drive back from San Diego. But at the very end, right when we're all cleaned up on Sunday, what were we all doing?
Well, we were watching the football game.
Yes, comatose.
I've got this great picture of just all these corpses sitting in chairs watching the football game because they're so out of mojo that they can't like there's nothing else to do.
We had no words left. We were saying things like, go sports, do the sports better than the other sports team.
Yeah, sports ball.
And that's not really fair because we actually had a full-on football fan there.
Well, like one of our number was like, yeah, go team!
Seahawks!
Yeah, do the thing! Yeah, guy whose name I know.
And we're like, yay!
Sports ball.
Can I get a drink?
Do that thing with the ball.
Sports. Yeah. So, but in the end, it was definitely worth all the trials and tribulations.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the message we want to send home, is that when you're an artist working on all of this kind of craziness and you feel that tough work, just take its toll on you, and then the applause and the applause and the applause and the applause. And there's so much. I think Ryan says we have some sort of mutation in our genes, like when women have babies and they forget the trauma of having a baby, and so they want to have another one.
Let's have another one.
It's just like that. It's like, oh, this was so hard to do. I'm never doing another show again. Applause, applause, applause. Oh, when are we doing that again? Let's do a show. Right?
I'm looking forward to the headaches already.
Well, and while we're at it,
Yeah, there are a lot of people we want to thank for this show that turned out to be such a rousing success.
we'd like to thank the Elks Lodge and the chefs.
Elks Lodge 168 in San Diego, California. Patrick Henry High School, their band were effectively the caterers for that.
Tanya Abishon and Aaron Esquera for coming to see the show.
Tabria and Patrick Lovegren, who patronized, and one of which was my guest on the stage.
And came all the way from Arizona.
All the way from Arizona, yeah.
Catherine and Joseph Goulart, who actually got married right after our show was over.
Congratulations!
Woo-woo! The Hobbs family.
Yeah, much obliged for their involvement. Brenda and Jeff Smith.
That's right. And all of our Kickstarter donors.
The artists and artisans involved with this year's tour, and especially John McKinley.
Woo! The writer, the playwright, the
writer of the
amazing, fantastic person, John McKinley.
You know, I slept with him once.
You know, on that note, I've got an idea.
No, we shared a room.
Oh, that's right.
We shared a hotel room. We were in the same hotel room. We were sleeping in the same room, so I slept. Can I start that over?
Yes.
John McKinley is a great guy.
You know what? I've got an idea. Let's change the subject. And now, Word Rants with Wolfman Dave. For those who find language stimulatingly exhilarating.
You misspelled exhilarating on the script.
We're on the radio.
Oh. I made a new enemy in an elevator today. It all began when person 1 and person 2 entered my elevator. Person 1 says, "Where?" Person 2 says, "For." I say, "Wherefore?" "Yes, for." "No, wherefore is Shakespearean speak. It means why." "Oh, well, that's my floor, that's all." "Yeah, I figured. It's just that time of day when my brain starts to melt and I make Shakespearean puns to keep my mind stimulated." "Figures. That's Romeo and Juliet, right?" Suddenly fiendish, I say, "Yes. Soft what breeze through yonder elevator breaks. Arise, fair breeze, and kill the envious lift, which shall soon be sick and pale with grief." The door opens on my floor and I leave. Person 2. "A Shakespearean fart joke? Really?" I give a big smile and a little finger wave as the doors close. Making enemies is fun.
Word Rants with Wolfman Dave. For those who like a little lift with a gift. We're back with the Approximate Hour. We're here with Brendan McCreary from Defiance. He is the songwriter of all the amazing music you hear in the show. Tell us more about that.
Well, technically, it's not all the amazing music. It is a significant percentage.
I've been corrected.
No, it's
Oh
quite
my.
all right. I am the show's.
I've been schooled already.
You gotta learn stuff sometimes.
Taking it.
I'm the resident songwriter.
Okay.
So there, in any given piece of film, there's score and there's songs. And I did not do the score. That's the background music. It's mostly instrumental.
Right.
And then so I provided a lot of the pop music.
Right on.
So yeah, and it just so happens that this show requires a lot of pop music and many other genres, and I think the reason for that is twofold. One, the showrunner and creator Kevin Murphy came from like a musical theater background.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. He has a musical on Broadway or off Broadway called Heathers.
Yes.
So he's just got a passion for music and pop music, and so one of the beautiful things about Defiance is it takes place like 45 to 50 years in a post-apocalyptic scenario in which all of our contemporary music is not really available. So and it's being interpreted and performed by aliens. So you can't just license a song. It's like, oh, the new Fall Out Boy single. Let's just throw that in there or whatever. If you want to use that, there's lots of covers, but a lot of times it's like, well, we're going to put it in an alien language, one of 4 different alien languages, and so I became sort of a pop music architect for all these different types of aliens in the show, and there's many different cultures.
Right.
And so I was juggling a lot,
Well, that's awesome, too, because by having the music written like that, it's less contrived than trying to grab all of these popular songs and mix them around.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Exclusively for the reason that the music is being specifically crafted for the show, for the characters,
Right.
for the scene. And, obviously, I know the composer, he's my brother. And
That
so
does help.
those two elements also inform each other. So it's not just some, random guy being like, oh, I'm going to write some random song. It's like, well, we're going to write a song for the Castathins, which are, this very patriarchal society of alien, and the Castathins in the show are gangsters,
Right.
Okay.
And Bear came up with this whole musical vernacular for them, lots of plectrums, lots of bell-like tones. And so when Kevin asked, he's like, we need a liturgical piece for the Castathins. Write it, use these lyrics or whatever, and then it's like, okay, well, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know that the Castathins are going to use lots of plectrum-type sounds, like mandolins and small-stringed
Awesome.
instruments, and I know there's going to be bells, and
So you take a lot of time to know all about the world that you're writing
Yeah,
for.
absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Which
Yeah,
is really
that really helps make the world real. I mean, it's just anytime you're watching a show, those little details are what really suck you into it.
absolutely.
Very immersive.
It makes sense to me that the showrunner was a musical theater person
Totally.
because that's kind of everything to me is the music in the background and how it intertwines into the story. And I love that everyone has to know all the background. We actually have questions above and beyond your artistry with Defiance to ask you.
Yes.
And are you ready? They're really intense questions.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right.
All right, prepare yourself. The first question we like to ask our actors and artists and musicians and writers and all them. What'd you have for lunch today?
I had a Porto's turkey and avocado sandwich.
Why does this
Was
always
it-
make me
Was
hungry?
it utterly delicious?
It was utterly,
Satisfactory.
perfectly satisfactory.
Ah.
Utterly.
Yes, totally and completely what I expected.
Wow. Okay, let's go to the second question. What was your first art project ever? And how did it inspire you to become the artist you are today?
That's a very interesting question. And wow. Okay, so I'm having sort of almost chemical memories that are sort of
Right?
firing from
Yes.
the abyss of my whatever. I'm thinking, obviously, my first project would have, probably been me rubbing, tomato sauce on my placemat. But
That counts.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
counting
you,
it.
thank you.
Stay.
No. I think I remember writing my first song in second grade.
Right on.
Yeah, on the piano.
Second grade.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. And
Your family must have been very encouraging.
yes, and No, absolutely they
Question
were.
mark?
So, like, first, yes, but the journey to 100% encouragement was long because I was a gifted piano player, and I could have been 10 times what I am had I had that desire to focus and practice.
Oh yeah.
But I really always just wanted to write songs. And I always wanted to sing. It's why I quit playing the saxophone. I used to be also somewhat gifted saxophone player, but I can't sing at the same time.
Right.
And so when...
We understand.
Well, that's loser talk.
Yeah, that's but yeah, so I didn't want to learn all that stuff, and so what I ended up doing was just pounding on the piano all the time. And it was loud. And my family would be like, "God, quit that pounding, quit that," you know. And my grandfather would scream at me. My mom would scream at me. They loved me playing music, 100%.
Right.
But it was the volume and just the sheer, just like pounding all the time. And finally, I think everyone just kind of threw up their hands and they were like, you know what, Brendan's like writing songs. And I think I got just good enough that they might have actually started being entertained by my songs.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I
the big-
remember
yeah.
the
Yeah.
phase before that, right, where it goes
Yeah.
from
Exactly.
cute to what are you doing to
Yeah.
oh wait, hey.
Yeah.
So tell me more though this composing in second grade because that's interesting.
So apparently the way it worked is my mom would just put my crib in front of the piano and I would just sort of reach up and bang on it all day. So the piano was just always in my life. And to say that I was composing or like writing a song is a stretch, but I do remember playing that whatever it was, I don't quite remember now, and playing it over and over and over again for like a few years.
Sure.
So like whatever it was, it stuck with me. And I think it was like somewhat of like a Latin type thing. I had no idea at the time, but
Sure.
you know, part of what I would do is just play stuff and just imagine that it was amazing.
Oh right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like
Well, because you can hear absolutely everything going on behind it. And you're
Right.
It's the Harold Hill approach, the think
the thing-
system.
Yeah. Well, what else do you have when you're, you know,
Well, it's no different than little kids with a baseball bat pretending they're in the World Series.
precisely.
Yeah, exactly.
Precise.
Are you a cat person, dog person? What kind of pets do you have?
I am severely allergic to both of those animals.
Oh,
Cats,
no.
Oh, you
cats
poor
more so than
bastard.
dogs. I do enjoy them. I do like them. I like it when they're around.
Is
I
there
would
any
love to
animal
pet
you're
them.
not allergic to that you like?
I do like animals, and I'm probably allergic to all of them.
Oh, no.
But I am a reptile and amphibian person.
Right on.
So I've had. I know I might not look it, but I'm a reptile and amphibian person.
Yes.
So I've had iguanas, and I've had many rounds of tree frogs. So, and the great thing about reptiles and amphibians, especially amphibians like frogs, you're not really supposed to touch them.
Right.
Right.
So they're like plants. And so, you know, you have your terrarium and they're these beautiful, I had for like many years, 3 or 4 years, some red-eyed trade frogs, like the classic rainforest
Right,
red-eyed
yeah.
trade frogs. And, you know, they come alive at night and they have all these incredible behaviors that you'd never, like I had a little family of 3. I don't know if they were related, but they were like, I would watch fights. They would have allegiances against each, like this
Wow.
whole like society of frogs.
Game of Frogs.
Game of
Game
frogs.
of Frogs.
Frogs.
It was awesome. So yeah, I'm a reptile. And
Note that
amphibian
for
person.
animation later.
Yes,
Okay.
Game of Frogs. Well, I have a quick follow-up to that, actually. Do you like fish? Because we've got a 90-gallon tank that we're trying to get rid of.
We're always trying to get
Three
rid of this
really
90-gallon
mean
tank.
fish.
It
Three
can't
fish
be ours.
included. If you can take it away, you can have it.
You can have it.
You know, I'm gonna pass.
You mean you lugged it in the truck all the way out here for nothing? Come on, you stooge.
Yeah, we're
What's the matter with you?
We're 0 for like 25 on this one.
All right.
I'm sure you can find.
All right, we'll find somebody.
So, are you at the point where your art pays your bills, or do you have a day job that supports your
I
art?
am at that point
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
for now.
knocking on all the things.
Yeah,
crossing all
whatever
the
kind of
things.
material I can find
Yep.
my hands on. You know, it doesn't need to be wood. You know, porcelain, marble.
There's 168 hours in the average week. How many of those do you spend on your art?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I'd say most of them. There's many stages to creating art, and every artist has a different style. And
Absolutely.
part of my style, and I probably assume a lot of other people, is procrastination.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very important phase.
Frustration, possibly a little anger and sadness mixed in there. Lots of implosion.
Yes.
We call all that thinking.
Yeah.
It's thinking with the safety
It sounds better in retrospect.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not all just like you know. So for example, for the last month, I've gotten up at like 7:30 every day, and I've been in my studio at like 9.
Nice.
And I've been working for like 12 hours.
Do you keep like a notepad by your bed and wake up with thoughts and all those things?
I am not a notepad person, and I never have been.
Yeah.
I never write ideas down, ever. And I've had this ludicrous theory that if it's not good enough to remember, it's just not good enough.
That's what Johnny Bottas
That's
says.
what John.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We met
Yeah.
Johnny about this before. Said the very same thing. If I don't remember it at the crack of noon, it wasn't worth remembering.
Well, and that's not the best attitude.
Well,
Occasionally, I'll use like my iPhone for like voice memos
Yeah.
or whatever. It'll be like
You
some
like hum a
beep.
sting to yourself?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't write much stuff down.
Fair enough.
all right.
Well, it's part of some people's process to let it marinate until the point they
Yeah.
remember it.
Percolate, marinate.
All right.
Exactly.
Another
Big question.
really
Tasty.
important artist question. What is your favorite hair color?
My favorite hair color.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm like a brunette and black hair kind of guy.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, no offense.
That's all right.
Wolfman.
I've been dealing with the whole no soul thing for my entire life. That's fine.
We always ask a geek question. You know, we gotta
Lay it on me.
check your nerd creds. All right.
I have some.
So if you were in a zombie apocalypse, and you know you're putting together a zombie apocalypse team, who is the most important person in that team? What do they do for that team?
Yeah.
Right.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because, you've got a lot of necessities in the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
For some reason, the first thing I thought of was like a support person. Like, it'd be really ideal to have somebody with field medicine experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good answer.
So as opposed to like somebody with a chainsaw,
Yeah.
I'm thinking somebody that knows how to like suck poison out of a snake bite and splint your arm up with like a twig and some like a ripped up T-shirt or something.
So your key member of the team would be the medic.
Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and
Yeah.
we've got that person on our list. So good
Yeah.
job.
Oh, sweet. Well, the next person would be the wizard.
The-
yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need a wizard.
I have
So
to
you
do both.
Magician.
Level 12.
We happen
charm
to know
spells.
one of those.
All right, you got the final question.
All right. Last but not least, where can people find out more?
Well, there's a couple sources. One is remixnoise.com.
Yep.
I've started with my manager, Barbara Lung, a music production company.
Right on.
So that's got a lot of our projects. My band is called Young Beautiful in a Hurry. Just throw a .com on that, or like a Google search, and you'll find all my band stuff.
Right on.
And that's the best way. And then Facebook, and so I'm sort of on there. Also, I am the lead singer of the Oingo Boingo Dance Party.
I
Right.
was waiting for you to
Yeah.
say something. Awesome.
We're
And
playing.
by the way, this man is amazing. We saw you recently at the Canyon Club.
Right, that was a good show.
And you're phenomenal.
Thank
you
you.
know, do you
Torn
have
up.
do you have classical training?
No,
So you were doing all those incredible vocal tricks and all that stuff.
that's
just,
all self-taught.
That's impressive. We rarely see that.
You know the
in all
secret?
Almost never.
Yeah.
The secret is singing opera around the house.
Right?
I swear to God, I just started as a goof like a couple years ago, and I'd just be around the house and just be like,
Rossora vida, repiscia rita velosa, Rosina briscia fremote.
Bravissimo!
It's seriously, it's a lot of fun. It takes like gets the juices flowing.
Oh yeah.
I know. I
And,
come from an opera singing
it makes it
background, so
super
there you
strong.
go.
Yeah, why didn't you join in?
Well, because I don't know that piece. I
Well,
know.
I was just making it up.
He's making
Yeah.
something up, and
You
that
just
sounded
say
lovely.
vague
You're still
syllables and
disappointed.
roll all your R's. It sounds
Yeah,
just
you're
like
still
Italian.
disappointed.
No offense to anyone that might take offense to that.
Mars robots in disguise.
So, my friends in Hawaii Opera Theater, don't be offended by this. I still believe everything you taught me. Everything. But that was awesome.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right.
I can literally go on for hours. I do that at home every day.
Well, the name of the show is The Approximate Hour. We only got one to spread around. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's
But you and me
approximate.
after the mics are off. It'll be good.
Thank you so much.
Hey, my
Brendan.
pleasure.
It's been
Once again,
fantastic interviewing you.
Excellent.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
I have an idea.
Let's change the subject.
And now we bring you one of our favorite new tunes from the hit show, Defiance.
I got a girl, I keep her sitting pretty. Yeah, she's my world, and I love her so. I got a job working in the city. Day and night, feeling great, feeling old. Hey, hey, baby, I got to know.
And now for the Intervision update.
The singing duo of Ghislaine and Wolfman Dave, newly christened the Approximate Duo, returned to Oh My Ribs Entertainment this week, this time to do a live acoustic performance. The duo regaled the audience, assembled for the birthday of director-producer Gabriel Romero, with songs of love and happiness. The Approximate Duo's set of acoustic love songs was interrupted by the Approximate Duo, who unleashed an entire suite of tunes on the subject of male genitalia.
Penis.
Thanks.
The Approximate Hour voices its regrets that there was no episode last week, as the usual night of recording was interrupted by the Defiance event whose interviews and songs can be heard in this episode. In the interest of bringing top-quality content to the show, the Approximate Hour staff apologizes for being so busy doing its job that it failed to do its job.
Intervision Entertainment's performance and assistance in the Dia de los Muertos event, hosted in Simi Valley's own Strathern Park, has earned them a place at the table at next year's event. Day of the Dead 2015 was a rousing success, especially considering the respective workloads of a single face painter, a single storyteller, a single troupe of 3 actors, and a food truck artisan who may or may not have broken an arm crafting the perfect soft taco.
Tacos.
Thanks.
In Combat Radio News, the Approximate Duo, featuring Graveyard Bandit Samantha Von Bitter, has submitted an acoustic holiday track to Combat Radio's Christmas album. The Approximate Hour staff encourages everyone to keep their eyes peeled for when the record drops, whether or not their track makes it on it. After all, a secular song of seasonal joy and acceptance might not fly in a country who's still concerned with what words do and do not appear on Starbucks cups.
Coffee.
Thanks. You're here with the Approximate Hour and Combat Radio, interviewing the songwriter and vocalist for the music behind Defiance.
Yes.
Yay, I got that right. Yay!
All right.
Hey, how about that? We don't have to fix it in post.
Oh,
No, we
great.
never fix everything in post. It's always one take.
Oh, great. Something for me to fix in post.
So you guys were amazing tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and give us both your names, please.
Okay.
I am Fife Monroe. I'm Olivia Pucci.
All right. Well, you guys, you both have very different voices, and that I think was what struck me the most. And both of you seem to be able to translate your styles. So I heard the classical come in, and then Wright pop back into the jazz. Can you tell me a little bit about your background in singing, starting with you, Fife?
Oh, for me, actually, I started off singing theater. I was a
Right
theater
on.
kid,
Woo,
such a
woo.
theater little nerd.
My background.
Is it?
Yeah.
So weird. Okay. And then I was 18. I was like, you know what? I want to add riffs and ad libs and do
Oh, they
some-
don't let you do that
no,
on stage.
No,
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I sang Aida, right? And there's like a ha, right? It's like really big, and I went ha ha, and like some fun.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Right?
And I'm like, okay, you know what? I've always wanted to do music, like the music industry, and I decided to just be part of a my brain. I just part of an artist development program. So I was
Right
part
on.
of that, and so they kind of just like built up all my influences of like Whitney Houston and Alicia Keys and Fiona Apple and Sly and the Family Stone, and you can just hear a lot of that in my voice and my influence. I love that.
I think I
grit.
almost hear a little Tina Turner in there, too.
Little Tina,
Yeah.
little
yeah,
Tina.
Little Tina.
Little Tina, she's so that's definitely that's part of it too. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm all about.
All right. Olivia.
Yes.
Let's hit same question.
So, grew up total jazz lover, like Billie Holiday came in with that
Aw,
sweet,
yeah.
smooth sound, had the Sade influence come into my life, and so that was just like, ooh, I love those warm, sexy sounds. So that's kind of just how I gravitated to singing.
Wait a
those
minute.
songs.
How old did you know you wanted to sing warm, sexy sounds? Let's talk about that.
Well,
Inquiring minds want to know.
it was a matured age.
All right. Well, we ask a series of odd questions as well as interesting questions here at the Approximate Hour.
I'll let you decide which are which.
They're
And,
all interesting.
and we're going to start with Ryan today.
Okay.
Get right in the mic, Ryan.
An extremely important question for every aspiring artist. What did you have for lunch today?
I had a green juice smoothie thing.
Did you make?
Olivia, you had green juice smoothie. smoothie? Explain what a green juice smoothie is, because it frightens me a little.
Well, it just came in a jar at Starbucks.
It came in a jar? At Starbucks?
At Starbucks, yes.
Oh man,
It's not Soylent Green
It was
or anything, is it?
quite delicious,
it's Ecto
actually.
Cooler for the modern day.
Did they like inject it straight in your veins?
No, I got to drink it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, you got
Yeah, I got to.
Oh yeah.
They allowed it.
Yes.
I'll allow ingestion. That's fine.
Oh my god. Is this the same question for everybody?
Yeah, question.
Go for it.
Dios mío. Okay, I had Chick-fil-A.
I've had
Rock
Chick-fil-A.
on.
So it's okay because the owner's gone now. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The food is awesome. I don't care what they're doing.
I care a little.
Love it.
Okay.
Human sacrifice, really tasty chicken.
All right. The next question. Go ahead, Wolf.
All right. What would you say was your first art project, and how did that inspire the artists that you have become? As far back as you can remember now.
Whoa.
Deep cut.
Deep question.
Yes.
We do things like that.
I think for me, my first talent show, like
Yeah.
in elementary school, I had to sing. I sang a song from Grease,
Yeah.
and I was just totally into it. And I didn't tell anyone to come, none of my family members, because I just wanted to find out if that's what I loved, that's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And I did it, and I won first place. And I was like, "That's it. That's my bug."
Now, did you do Grease in the style of Billie Holiday?
And were you into those cool, sexy tones then?
I was because Olivia Newton-John, I picked one of her songs, and she has like a really sweet tone.
Sure.
So I kind of just emulated
Which song was it?
"Hopelessly Devoted to You."
You know, I've heard that done as a stalker song. You might want to
I-
reinvent it.
I'm sure Brenda can make that happen.
Stay a while after. I want to hear that in the style of Ella Fitzgerald.
Not a scatting. Okay.
All right, 5.
All right. For me, it's still theater. I was singing "Your Daddy's Son" by Ragtime, and at that time I didn't know what it was about. I just loved the way she sang it, and then I found out what it was about. And when I performed it live, I started crying on stage, and it really I guess hit people in a certain way. And when they turned on the house lights, everyone was standing up and applauding, and my mom was like, "You have groupies in the backstage." And I was like, "What?" So that little, like she said, that little itch, I was just like, I have to do this forever. So
You're actually the right age to play that role right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying.
19.
And a half.
That's right. Does it matter actually how old we are or how old we look? I mean, we're in the industry, right?
It's not do you have it, it's can you sell
It's
it.
what age range can you play?
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go.
Okay, deep question. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right. Cat person, dog person, other?
Dog person.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a
Olivia's
dog.
dog person.
I have a little Sunny bunny.
Oh.
Even though he's
Wait,
a
is
dog.
he a dog or is he a bunny?
That wasn't one of the options. Try to follow directions, please.
Dog rabbit hybrid.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
dabbit.
No.
A David.
How old's your dog?
He is 7, and he's
Aw.
my little buddy. He was like before everything. I'm married, and I have a little one, and he was like my first like companion.
You still give him more love than your little one, I hope.
Sometimes.
It's like, listen, hubby, I love you, but the dog was here first.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, can I choose both?
Of course.
Okay. So I love cats and dogs. I really, really do.
Aw.
I don't know why I said it. Why did I say it like that? But
I don't know,
Around
baby.
tonight.
Well, you know,
Okay,
it's
the
just
whole
one of
rest of the interview is going to be like this, all right?
So you like both cats and dogs?
I do.
Do you have any at home?
I have a boxer puppy right now.
Nice.
I know.
Adorbs.
Okay, so his name is Baxter the Boxer, but he's just like so much energy. Like I come home from a gig and he's just like, oh my god, hello, and I'm like, go away. And he has like a little nub, so it's cute to see him like wiggle back and forth. So I love him. But then I had like a cat before. I know, but I loved her too. And I was like, oh, but I like the type of love you give me. And I know that if I have that cat with my dog, like they're just gonna fight, and it's just I'm gonna come home to like rah. So
So you love them enough to not let them kill each other.
there you go.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go. Ding ding.
Excellent.
All right, we have a follow-up question.
Oh yes, we are trying. How do you guys feel about fish? We have
Tough sell, bro.
Yeah, we have 3
Come on,
fish.
sell it better.
We have 3 fish that come with a 100-gallon tank that we're trying to get rid of.
Free to a good home.
Free to anybody willing to take it away.
They're big, nasty, mean fish. They're really pretty and
What
mean.
kind of fish are they actually?
Right?
One's
One's an Oscar.
One's an Oscar. We don't know about the others.
No.
But they're probably tasty.
Like Craigslist?
tried that. Everybody sees the tank and went, "Oh, I don't think I can take that away." It says it's 100 gallons right in the little thing, and people are like expecting it to be like this little tiny thing.
Can I fit it in my Civic?
No, you can't. You gotta-
Strap it on top, give them a ride. Next question important to artists. How about a day job? Is art what keeps on the lights, or are you managing with another line of work alongside your artistic career?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I feel like, yes, you should have a day job just to keep the lights on, pay, eat. But don't lose focus on your main goal. So don't get caught up in that day job. I know I did for a while. I was working retail, and then for some reason, like, you know what? I have to be assistant manager. I'm like, wait a second. No, I won't have any time to gig. Saturdays, forget it. You know, Friday nights. So you really have to have that discipline in yourself to say, okay, I'm going to do this to make sure that I pay for my craft.
Now, do you still work at this time to pay for your craft?
No.
Rock it!
I do it full time. Full time.
That's the step. That's a big step. All right, Olivia, bring it on.
All right, so after gigging for a while and doing the part-time thing, I just had to let it go. I had to take the leap of faith of saying, like, no, this is what I'm doing 100%. I was able to get to that point, and then even on top of that, start my own booking agency because I was playing and getting into so many places, you know, hustling, and just making these contacts where I was able to get other friends and other artists into these venues. So now I have my own booking.
You know, Ghislaine is a singer. That's me. So, you know, if you need to book anyone, I would be more than happy to actually get paid for what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always continuously building my roster of talented professional people and getting them paid gigs.
Hey, that might actually happen.
Nice.
I'm always promoting myself at the approximate hour, by the way. So if you really get me a gig, that will be revisited
And
later.
we just closed a stage show, and we kind of don't know what to do with ourselves now. So
Okay. Oh, I have a cool question. All right. There are 168 hours in a week. How many of those hours do you spend working on your art?
Not enough.
Right?
Not enough.
Always with me. I don't have any like internet or cable right now, so I just collaborate. I collaborate with a lot of artists in the area. I'm saying, hey, I have something on my mind. I need to get it off my chest because you guys can't see, but I have these long, crazy, like Cruella de Vil nails, and they do not.
They are full extensions of her fingers. they are absolutely like both synonymous with her hand and separate in their own right.
And I also saw her take down a moose earlier.
That's true. That's true. That happened.
So, I mean, I don't play an instrument, so I definitely, collaborate with other musicians. I always practice 2 hours a day. I feel like it's a muscle, and you have to work on it, so that's why I can, sing in cold weather or however, so I definitely dedicate a lot of my time.
So if you were singing on New Year's for a celebration in New York in
really
the cold,
start?
you could hit the high notes?
I can hit those
That's
high
right.
notes, baby. I can hit those high notes, baby.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying something.
No, I can.
For myself, I'm grateful that I get to perform as often as I do. Sometimes it's an art, but sometimes we're doing covers, so I have to make it my own art form of the cover that I'm doing. But working with Brendan, I'm able to expand writing original music as well.
Yes.
So that's my passion right now of trying to fit in those hours in that week of taking tracks and writing.
Do you feel
to
like
them.
you sleep and you're still thinking about your art?
Yes. Absolutely.
Both of you, huh? All right.
The real artists we keep running into dream their work. It's really
There's not enough hours to get it all in.
No.
only 168 actually.
Yeah, I really need a second personality.
Yeah.
What is your favorite hair color?
Currently purple.
I wonder why.
Oh my gosh, you should see Olivia's locks right now. They're these gorgeous purple extensions just popping out.
Rockin'
Yeah,
locks.
for those of
Oh
you
my
who
God.
can't see through the radio,
Yeah.
yeah,
missing out.
beautiful.
Slaying it.
It hurts.
So pretty. I would love like a turquoise, like kind of like the Kylie Jenner ombre into like the turquoise. I would love that,
Right.
but my hair just is like nope.
Well, you have
So,
to pay a fortune to make that happen, then hope it stays on your head.
There you go, and
Yeah.
that's not
There's
gonna happen.
We also like to ask a geek topic of all of our guests.
Nerd cred.
And I think I'm going with this one.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So relevant to the topic tonight, what if any invading alien race out of fiction were to invade the Earth tomorrow? Which would you prefer it would be?
Oh,
what would you find the most interesting? What's the most interesting alien invasion you can think of out of fiction that you've seen or that you can imagine?
Oh man, what's that movie with Tom Cruise and they come out of the ground?
War of the
War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
That'd be dope. That'd be really cool. War of the Worlds.
All right. Well, and we just beat them there, so there's that.
Yeah.
Of the world.
They got sick and died.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
we're good. We're good.
Olivia?
Thanks.
I'm still stumped. I don't know.
Yeah, like what would you find to be the most intriguing alien invasion?
I don't know. I guess I'd say Transformers, just so I could see them shift
You're my new best
into
friend.
Yes.
You're my new best
like
friend.
different shapes. So
Well, like the original ones or the Michael Bay ones?
Take a pick.
whichever one has like the tape recorder chests.
That's
That's
the
the
original.
She wins!
Yay.
superior.
Okay, so our final question really is very simple. Where do we find out more about what each of you are doing? And let's start with you, Olivia.
Okay. I currently perform with an act, Aragorn and Olivia. We're a duo act. So you can either find us at aragornolivia.com, or if you don't know how to spell Aragorn, southbayduo.com.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, fine.
Sweet. So I actually perform in Huntington Beach at Killarney's. This is an awesome place every single Friday.
Right on.
And we're called The Singer Girl. I know, we're very cool. Yeah, so you can check us out there. We start at 10 o'clock every Friday. I do a lot of like private parties, so really can't go if you're not invited. But that's pretty much what's going on. And then I have new music coming
But they
out
can
next year.
book you, yeah?
They can.
How can they book you?
You can book me at Fife Monroe, I guess, fyfe.monroe@gmail.com. You can
All
contact me.
right.
Right.
Thank you guys
Thank you so much.
for coming and your amazing performance tonight.
you.
Just
We had
killed
no
it.
idea what we were in for, and then
None.
we're sitting front row, and it was just fantastic to go.
I'm just
I love this. I'm
gazing
blown
up
away.
at gazing
Oh,
up at
thank
these
you.
two angels in leather jackets. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be anywhere else.
In all honesty, we had just closed the show. I was getting to that point of, I don't know why I'm doing this, and then came here today and was sitting there going, God, I love my life.
Yay. Oh,
Stop
that's
upstaging me,
awesome.
dude.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Such pally rays, the eyes in We will bloom together. The eyes of God, beneath dark skies. The eyes of God, warm each other. Golden starlight in our eyes. Oh, we got no doubt here. Oh, bless you and me. We're gonna sing and be well, my office I know. asica, pero che c'hai di asica, non te ne passe, la piscina, la mascia,
And to close this show, we bring you the Approximate Hour's Thought of the Day. Take it away, Ghislaine.
They say there's no business like show business. I think they meant to say there's no business in show business.
And that's our show. Be sure to check IntervisionEntertainment.com for all updates to the Approximate Hour, the Mickey and Worm Tour, and our partnerships with Combat Radio. You can also catch us on Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
Thanks as always to Combat Radio, whose event footage you heard in this week's episode. Thanks also to the entire Defiance musical team, and especially to Brendan McCreary, Fife Monroe, and Olivia Pucci for their interviews and performances.
On that note, we'd also like to thank Lakeshore Records for giving us permission to use the music in this week's episode. All of the Defiance songs can be found on iTunes and on Amazon.
If you'd like to support the Approximate Hour and keep the coffee flowing, please hit up our website, IntervisionEntertainment.com, for more information on how $5 a month can help make this show possible. Join us next week when we may or may not be singing a song about merchant seamen. Or seaman merchants. Until then, I'm Wolfman Dave.
And I'm Ghislaine. Catch you next week.
I defy you! I defy you! I am defiant! I am defiant!
The Approximate Hour.
Choo cha 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 choo. Everything is so hot. That's still hot. Oh yeah. No, hey. Talking like a normal person is still okay. Cool. Hi guys. Poo poo and pee pee. Poo poo and pee. Poop and pee.